Now to Donald Trump spending his day attending a hearing in Florida. This is behind closed doors in his classified documents case. His lawyers trying to get access to classified evidence, but the special counsel's office just wants to give them summaries. Former president facing 40 criminal counts of obstruction, willfully retaining defense information, and other charges. This hearing just after the special counsel found no criminal charges were warranted in President Biden's handling of classified documents, which we talked about with David Weinstein at the time. He joins us now along with Misty Marris, who's back with us right now after covering some breaking news earlier in the hour out of Houston. Misty, you first on what we should be looking for. Again, I know it's behind closed doors, but what's important about today for President Trump in Florida?
Yeah, so what's important today, this all relates to the Classified Information Protection Act. Yep. So what's going on right now is the judge is meeting with the defense side. The defense side wants basically unfettered access to all of the documents. They've been told to come in ready to present what their defenses will be and why having the documents matters to those defenses. On the prosecution side, they want to limit it. They're trying to exclude 4 categories of what they say are very sensitive documents relating to national security concerns. So they want to exclude those and just give summaries. They're going to go through all of this with the judge, and then the judge is going to have a court order which will say when and how these documents are going to be turned over to the other side of the discovery process. This is really going to affect that upcoming May trial date. Right. Will there need to be more time? So that's the focus here. Also, another competing motion. The judge had said that in Trump's upcoming motions relating to discovery, they can put in all these witness names and have information out there in the public sphere. Prosecutors are stepping in saying absolutely not. That will lead to witness intimidation, and the judge is waiting to make a determination on that order. So a lot of competing interests here.
Look at the judge in this case here on the screen. You know, maybe it's just me, David, as a layman, but I'm struck by some sort of irony here that this case was all about whether or not Trump would give access to the documents, and now the Trump team wants more access to the documents. But what are you looking for today? What should we watch?
You know, Connell, I think the one thing that we should watch today, quite frankly, is what happens after the hearing. This is a sealed proceeding. This is where they're going to be talking about confidential and classified information. And one of the people in the hearing is somebody who doesn't like to be told what to say, when to say, and how to say it. What will be interesting to me is what the former president says when he gets out of this hearing. He needs to tread carefully about any public statement he makes about what was said in that hearing. It's ex parte, because the judge doesn't want the prosecution to hear what the theory of defense is. It also concerns classified documents, which, quite frankly, that's not what really matters. The content of these documents doesn't really matter unless it impacts the defense. The jurors aren't going to see these documents. What the charge is about here is, were the documents classified? If they were they ever declassified? If so, when? Who had authorization to view or retain these documents? And if you had authorization, did you keep them in a place that was safe and secure? And then as to Trump specifically and the other charges, did you lie about what you did with them and where they were? Did you obstruct the ongoing investigation? So the content of the documents, and this is going to be the prosecution's biggest argument, that's not really important. We'll summarize what's in them, but they don't need to see what's in them.
Interesting. The other thing that all of these things sort of happen at once. I think Misty made the point earlier that it comes back to timeline, whether it's in this case or all of the cases. So, Misty, we might get something this week in New York on the hush money case. So, you know, we might get a decision in the civil fraud case. Right. And then I know there's a hearing today in the Georgia, the Fannie Willis situation. So how do you see the timeline playing out here? Because I think that's what people are just watching it for the impact on the election or most interested in.
Absolutely. So this Florida case that we're just talking about, a lot of this is going to be, will they be able to abide by that May date? I think it's unlikely. And, you know, the prosecutors are saying that actually the goal is for the Trump team to extend the timeline. As far as New York, we may get a trial date with respect to the Stormy Daniels campaign finance funds.
So that would be his first criminal trial, potentially.
That's what many of us are looking at this and thinking that could be the one with the most potential to go to trial first. Now, as far as Georgia is concerned, this hearing relating to whether Fannie Willis will have to recuse herself or the prosecutor's office in that area, that's a big issue, and that will likely delay that trial beyond New York. So a lot of moving parts here. I think the New York one has the potential